mindset with the homosexual. In my opinion, you don't get to choose what convinces you, right? I don't
Yeah.
really choose what arguments convince me into a mind frame, just like I don't choose whether or not I'm convinced of the gospel. I think that that's punishing people based on something they have no control over genuinely. And a lot of these people genuinely don't see that what they are doing is wrong. They're not hurting other individuals. What
Well,
they're doing doesn't
but
feel
the real
spiritually
question
wrong
is,
or hurts them individually. And yet they're sent to fire and brimstone, even though in their mind, I loved, I cared, I worked on feeding the homeless, whatever it is, right?
mm, but the real question is, does God have the right to bring punishment to such individuals? Does
I think
God
if
have the
God is
right to
real, he has
even
the right to do whatever he wants, right? Like
right,
if
True
he's
that.
right?
for sure.
So, because
For
there's a
good or
difference
bad,
between
or whether or
what
not I
God
believe it or
does
not.
versus how you feel about what God does,
For sure, but I
right?
think it's contradictory to say that, but then also say God is perfectly loving and just. You know, if we're gonna take
No,
that
it's not.
argument, then like
No, there's no contradiction to it. If
so,
First John chapter 4 says God is love, okay,
let me
that
ask
means
you
that.
this:
Well,
is
well,
it
hold on a second. First
okay?
John chapter 4 said God is love.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells me that this thing called love comes from God. God is the arbiter of this concept called love.
Would
But
that
that doesn't.
include
But
love with
that's
another
separate
man?
from actually him practicing judgment or being all loving. I don't. I don't. Me personally, I don't. When I say God is love, I don't mean that He loves every single individual. According to what we see in Psalm 5:5, Psalm 11:5, there are some individuals that He actually abhors, according to the text.
Mm-hmm.
Now which one of those people are they? I don't know. God
Yeah,
doesn't
we could
reveal.
debate on that all
Right.
day.
Yeah, yeah, we can debate on that who they are. I don't think any human's going to know which individual God abhors,
Mm-hmm.
but the Bible does talk about such individuals. Um, However, when it comes to again, we see there are Max brought this up multiple times. You got people who could be living a lifestyle like this for many years, and
Mm-hmm.
then one day they snap out of it, and all of a sudden all this stuff that Christians have been saying to this person, all of a sudden makes sense. So
Absolutely.
but when we asking, I can't see an all loving God doing this and doing that. Well, you're speaking subjectively then.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I think
God
we're
in
all
his
speaking subjectively, though.
Yeah, I would
well,
agree with that.
what do you mean? Well, I'm saying that
In the sense that like there is no objective, we're not speaking objective truth, we're speaking about stuff that we have faith in, right? Like East Max obviously, and you don't know for
mm,
100% certain and have empirical data that shows that this is all true and this is 100% the correct
Yeah, I mean,
thing
at
to
best, we could
believe.
just quote the Bible, but you
It's
can argue
faith.
whether or not that's acceptable or not in
we're,
any
Correct.
we're yeah, we're
conversation.
basing our belief on what's clearly demonstrated in Scripture.
Hmm.
Um,
So
but when
yeah,
you say things like, "Yeah, I just can't believe that an all loving God would do this or that,"
correct.
well, I mean, you're entitled to feel that way, but
You gotta understand what I'm talking about is my previous experiences, right? What is all loving? What is unconditional love?
Well,
Like
I
East
did not
Max,
have the answer to that until I had a child, personally,
right? Like
which I
East
can't use
Max
that as a reference
explains
point.
for his children, like
Yeah.
unconditional love. Like I don't think that if his child was to end up gay, that all of a sudden East Max would stop loving his child,
No, no.
in any sense of the word.
A lot of people
Um,
that would, but not me.
Exactly.
yeah,
I don't think that unconditional love is you follow my rules, and if you don't, I
right.
want eternal separation from you, and I don't want to see you ever again. I don't want the best for you. I want you to just stay away from me and to burn. That doesn't sound like very loving to me. And if we talk about just, again, I'm a determinist. I don't believe that many of the things people
Well,
believe
well,
you have
what,
free will and
well,
are
what's your
accurate.
thoughts on a person who has this affinity towards people of the same sex,
Hmm.
um, and they know it's wrong, but yet they keep finding themselves in situations where they keep, you know, getting involved in these type of relationships, and they feel
Well,
guilty every time they get involved in some activity.
Well, first of all, I would like to separate the idea of guilt and shame. A lot of Christian men feel shame about jerking off. That's not guilt. Guilt is feeling sorry for what you have done or like the way you've hurt somebody. If I was to punch my brother in the face, I'd feel guilty because he's suffering, and I'd feel bad for the decision that I made. Shame is somebody telling you, you should have done this, and you did something else, and now you feel ashamed and distant from the social norm.